my motherfucking page. I
Audio
said,
Jungle.
and you already know I can talk about the stuff that we don't
Audio
discuss
Jungle.
about it like the fucking damn.
Audio Jungle.
But that didn't suck.
Audio Jungle.
Oh no.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Come on, baby.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Probably you can't even do radio.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Uh,
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
and good Tuesday afternoon as I take ugly motherfuckers off my page, even at the beginning of the goddamn show. And I guess I've gotten used now to men being jealous of me. And I guess, guys, I can't blame you. If I was to be looking on a TV screen or a screen somewhere and see how substandard I am to a real man, a man that your mama likes, your woman likes, your sister likes, and your old ass grandmammy too, is somebody that she likes. I guess I would get in my feelings as well. Ain't shit wrong with my shirt. Probably the fact is that you don't have a shirt like this. And you're used to them little t-shirts and white beaters. And when you see a man that can put on a different shirt every day, it bothers you. You find out sometimes that black men who do not have anything going on are the most pitiful creatures in the world. Misery and minting thing to be jealous of a man, and the only thing that you can say is, uh, your shirt ugly. Well, brother, I can buy any kind of shirt I want. I don't have to walk in the store and look at the price. If I see it and I want it, I get it. And what I like and what you like may be two different things. Because you like to go and put on jeans and pair of pants with somebody else's name on it. On many of my suits, my moniker, whether it's the cousin pastor, Pastor Raw, or Thaddy Bear, they all carry my name. Why would I wear clothing with somebody else's name on it? I don't even drive a vehicle that's going to have a dealership's name on it because I'm not going to advertise your car lot for free. Now that's just my mindset. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. But I can't get into the show most days without someone coming on my page. I invite it. I don't invite you. We're not friends. You come on to the page because you want to be in the presence of manhood, brother. You didn't have no daddies. Your daddy didn't like your mamas, so he didn't like the little ugly baby that he made with your mama. So he left you. So you have no image of our role model. So every man, every black man that you see, you got something negative to say. If I was a white man, that this would be the prettiest shirt that you've ever seen in your life. That comes from the conditioning that the white man has been able to do to you. He taught you self hatred. We go all the way back to the Willie Lynch letter. The white man, through your genes, through your ancestors, made you into the nothing ass niggas that you are now. They programmed your folk. You walk around with your pants down your ass and you think that you're thug. You think that you're tough. You won't even put clean drawers on under them pants that you got hanging down off your ass. They can create anything for you to have a damn style of. The white man sits in his office and he figures out what do we program the nigga to do next. Tell you what, let's get some jeans. Let's pay about $2-3 for a pair of jeans. If that much, if you buy a bunch of them, it ain't gonna even cost that much. Let's cut holes in them up and down the leg. We'll sell these $1 jeans or $2 jeans for $50 and $60 a pair. Why do we sell them at that rate? Because the black man, the black woman will buy anything. You made Nike a $1 billion corporation. All of these shoe stores, you made them $1 billion corporations because you're mispaying your rent. You're mispaying your utility bills. You're mispaying the things that are necessary or should be a priority in your life. You're mispaying them to have on a particular pair of pants. You're right, We are the biggest consumers to other folk other than us. We don't spend money with us. We don't like us. We don't feel good about us. The white man can have a substandard product, and you say, the white man was just having a bad day. I'm going to come back and get some of his product next week. You can go to the black man's hamburger joint, and he forget to put a tomato and a pickle on your sandwich. I ain't never going back to him no more. Motherfucker won't even put no, he too cheap to put a tomato and a pickle on my sandwich. I'm going to go up here to Wendy's. Moshe, I know you didn't just send another request, brother, and I just told you nicely. You do that. I know some people. See, that was a time in Memphis that when you die, white funeral homes wouldn't bury you. Couldn't take your body to the white funeral home. In fact, I remember as a young boy, I grew up working in the funeral business. I worked for a funeral home that was, it was called Southern Funeral Home back in the days. And a Memphis branch, they had the white funeral home, which was the Memphis funeral home. I couldn't work over the white funeral home. I wore my black suits, drove cars, I dealt with families at the black funeral home, but the only thing that a black man could do for them was wash cars. I want you to know that racism is very much alive, but the mentality of black folk is what fucks it up for us. We think that the white man is in love with us. I was telling Mel about an incident. I made my first piece of real money in the repo business. I ran an independent repo company for about 10, 11, 12 years. I made good money repossessing the cars. I remember when I went into the repo business, nothing I planned to do. At that time, I was a bounty hunter. Yeah, I was like dog. I was a, I was a bounty hunter. And one day, I happened to be at a car lot that I had bought a car from. It was kind of slow in the bounty hunting business. Motherfuckers was hiding good. I wore my gear. I wore my black boots, my SWAT pants. I wore my pistol, had my vest, had my badge on as a bounty hunter. The the gentleman that owned the car, they had two pyramid and Budget Auto Sales. They didn't have a repo man. And the guy told me, well, if you can find people, you can find cars. I never wanted to be a repo man. Back then, he said, I'll give you $150 a car. I said, okay. So I ain't got no truck. He said, you got the look. Black folk ain't gonna know the difference whether you the police. As long as you don't tell them you the police. You got fugitive recovery agent on your clothing. I said, I tried. So he gave me the keys and the paperwork on about 20 cars. I got my then pastor to work with me. I'm driving one car, you drive, we got the keys. You drive the other car. I'm going to pay you $25 a car you drive. We had all 20 of those cars in 2 days. The man paid me cash money. Needless to say, I gave up bounty hunting that day. I went to work for Budget and for Pyramid, and I started adding other lots on. But Budget and Pyramid were my main lots. I made about $200,000 a year off of just those two lots. I ended up at one time I was repossessing for 30 different lots. Well, I didn't have a truck then, a repo truck. They said, the white people told me, they said, you need to get your repo truck because you're tearing off some bumpers. See, when I started repossessing, the bumpers were made out of steel. And now they're made out of plastic. You know, I kind of fucked up a few cars because I had one of them I got my old pickup truck with them forks on. So I fuck up a few bumpers. Should put your goddamn condo. Well, by this time, I'm making a whole lot of money. But let me go back. Let me digress. When the white man told me that I should go into the repo business, there was one black repo company in the city that was doing probably about $1 million a year. Because they did the new car lots, Ford and General Motors and all those people. I could only do the Utah to no car lots, which is where my money is, because I didn't have to wait 30 days. You know, when I bring you your car, you give me my money. I went in to the black-owned company one day. It was on Mill Branch at that time. And I met the owner's wife. I said, ma'am, I don't know nothing about, this is a black woman. I don't know anything about the repossession business. I wanted to sit down and talk with your husband so that I just could get a few of the ins and outs of the business. The black woman told me, he ain't gonna talk to you. I said, why, man? I don't know him. She said, why should we tell you anything? You may become our competitor. I said, thank you, man. And by the way, I did. I was repossessing so many cars. I was averaging 5, 6, 7, 8 calls a day. The days that I go down to the strip club, pure passion. I said, well, I'm gonna go to the strip club and spend $200, $300. So I'm going to repossess me some cars just for my strip habit. Because a regular repossession was 150. That's one of the things I had to add on if I had to do this other work. So I would average $175, $200 a car at that time. I was rolling in the money. In the repo business, I was making probably about $400,000 a year. So the white company, my main company, that I stopped for to go get their cars because they had cars. Budget and Pyramid had cars, but they would put a bounty on the cars. Nice car, new car, and this was before they started putting the trackers in the cars. I stopped because they checks never bounce, never bounce. They always saw me in my uniform and in the repo truck. Well, I fucked up and decided I was going to go on my first cruise. I was excited about going on my first cruise. And I thought that the white people who paid me all of this money to go into the hood, go into the hedges and highways to get their cars. Because I was going to get a car. I'm going to get your car. I didn't care if you was at your mama's funeral. I didn't care whether you was in the shopping center. I didn't give a damn. I'm going to get your car. I don't care if I catch you at the service station, you get out the car. I'm on. And after I got that repo truck, that new repo truck, woo, that didn't take, it took about 30 seconds to back up on you people and be gone. Well, I had bought a Mercedes back at that time, one of the antiques. And I had painted that car FedEx purple. Didn't know that purple was my color then. So my cruise coming up. And I had repossessed a bunch of cars for them that week. And they had about $3,000, $4,000 on my money. So I decide to take off my work clothes, not go in my vehicle that they've seen before, that I've been driving, that I bought from them, and I've been driving 3, 4 years. And I went in the Mercedes. I didn't go in my work attire. I was dressed so nicely. Gaiters on my feet, rings on my finger. And I pulled up to the car lot. And Mr. Wayne was the old man, the old white man that owned both of the car lots. He looked at me. He looked at me up and down, and he looked at the Mercedes. I had bought the Mercedes from him, but when I bought it from him, it didn't look like it looked. I had niggerized it. It was purple. Had put me a little roof in the top of the car. Nice tires on the car. So I went bouncing in like I normally went bouncing in for my money. I said, Mr. Wayne, I'm gonna be gone about 3, 4 days. I'm going on a cruise. White man looked at me. A cruise? Yes, sir. I'm going on a cruise. I'm going to Jamaica on a cruise. I'm gonna be gone 3, 4 days. I done caught up on all my repos. If anything happens while I'm gone, when I get back, I'm going straight to work and I'll get those calls. The white man looked at the car and he looked at how impeccably I was dressed. And I was smelling good too. And you could tell there wasn't no Bruton, there wasn't no Avon. Good cologne. He says to me, we pay you that much money so you can go on a cruise? And you can drive a car like that? And I realized I had bought the car from them. He said, okay. He said, okay. So he wrote me out my check, about $3,000 some dollars. Now I have been repossessing all of his cars by myself for about 5 years. I had easily made close to $1 million just off of them. That wasn't even including my other lots. So I go on a cruise. I have a good time. I come back from the cruise, feeling good, put on my little uniform, jump in my brand new truck, pretty truck too. I pulled up to the lot. I said, man, I'm back, y'all. I'm ready to work. He said, all right. Gave me a list of 3 cars. No, I didn't get fired because I was good at what I do. But while I was on vacation, they had added 4 more. They had that many cars in the street. They had added 4 more repo men. That made me 5. They were now putting out a list of cars And every repo man had to go after cars. Everything on the list, you just go after the car, which made the job become very dangerous because you piss off somebody. I'm coming to get your car. Then I happen to find out where you are and come get the car. Then I got to deal with the issues of the other repo man that I had nothing to do with. But what they had done was, as a black man, they probably sat down. They had really put the pen and pencil together. When they figured out that they was paying one nigga with $200,000 a year, and they knew I repoed for a bunch of other folk beside them, they started counting my money. This nigga probably making $1 million a year repossessing cars. Hmm. And until the day I quit repossessing, I never was their sole. I was a best repo man. And sometimes I think now about going and getting rid of truck. But I'm telling you that I really was foolish enough to think that those white people like me. I was. To give me little bonuses and stuff. I thought that ain't none of your business when I'm drinking, dumb motherfucker. That ain't what we talking about. And why motherfuckers want to know what you're drinking? Shit. Bitch, sit there and learn something. I thought the white people like me. Just like y'all do on y'all jobs now. Y'all think the white people love you. I was dumb enough to think that I was doing something for the white folk, which I was, that they couldn't do, which they didn't want to go into the hood and get their cars. Man, woo, I was really doing something, but no. The white folk was paying me, but they were using me. Yeah, the whole time I'm on vacation, how much money we paying this nigga? We ain't seen him dressed like that before. They probably figured, oh, he did buy that car from us, but it didn't look like that. The value went up on the car. And I'm supposed to be talking about Trump today. What the hell? You know, this is my damn trying to talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. Why do you sit on these jobs when God is giving you a gift? You continuously, because you have no faith, and you're dealing with the creature called fear. You keep making the man money and won't make none for yourself. The story is told of the man that came out and took his employee. He was driving a Lamborghini. He brought his best black worker out to look at the Lamborghini. He said, "Is that a pretty car?" "Yeah, I saw that. That sure is a nice Lamborghini." He said, I'm gonna get another Lamborghini next month. Sir, you gonna get another Lamborghini? Yeah, man, I'm gonna get me another Lamborghini. Ooh, that's good. The white man told him, now if you keep working as hard as you working for me, I can get that Lamborghini in less time than I thought I could get it. Because you a good worker. If you work harder for me, I can get me another Lamborghini. Yes, sir. I shows gonna work harder because I shows would love to see you in a new Lamborghini. Yeah, I want to see you in one of them cars. I'm never gonna tell you to mistreat white folk. I'm never gonna tell you to disrespect a white man that does not disrespect you. But I am going to tell you that the white man has inbred in some of you Negroes the fear of being free. You fear being free. You fear being on your own. You fear taking an opportunity or taking a chance. And life is no more than a chance. Look at your neighbor and say, life ain't no more than a chance. It's a chance when you go to sleep. It's a chance you won't wake up. It's a chance that when you leave home going to your job, it's a chance that you have an accident. Chance that you don't make it. It's a chance you may not make it alive this evening. It's a chance you may go to the hospital this evening. Life is no more than a chance. And if you are fearful of a chance, you will never be successful. You'll never make it in life because you're scared to take a chance. I didn't take some right chances. If I had used some of that money I made back then and invested in some of the things I should have invested in, I wouldn't be worried about nothing today. The reason when I went into Naked Truth and I found out last year I spent $500,000 was because I had it. Yeah, I had it. I've made money. I've been nigger rich. I ain't been white folk rich, but I've been nigger rich. I just didn't know what I know now. My mind was in a niggerville. I hadn't read some of the stuff I read and started dealing with some of the people I deal with and started getting knowledge for myself. I was going to them churches where they preach when you go to heaven. Then when you go to heaven churches, they wasn't teaching and preaching about prosperity, and all of this belongs to me. I had to start reading, and I had to start intellectualizing myself. That's the reason that it bothers me. It bothers me when I hear young men on the line and I hear young people on these tablets and things, you being foolish and you don't understand that you are just usury for the white man. Usury. I had a white man tell me one day, I was coming through the airport. The white man, and I never thought about it. I've been through that airport many times. There was a sign that used to hang in the airport. And I was getting a drink before I got on the plane. And this white man just started talking. He's interesting. He was a professor at a college, and we got to talking all throughout the airport. The sign, "Welcome to Memphis." The international home of warehouses. I'm not paying no attention. I said, okay. But the white man broke it down for me. He said, "Sir, do you know what that sign says?" I said, "Memphis, the international home of warehouses." You ever worked in a warehouse? Nope. But who predominantly works in warehouses in Memphis? I said, "Black folk." He said, "You look like a smart fella. They're calling my flight. Think about what I said." Memphis, the international home of warehouses. Predominantly black folk and Hispanics work there. Then I got to start thinking about some other shit. Then I started thinking about how substandard the education was in school. Then started thinking about the dumbing down that goes on in black schools. I keep you dumb, and the only thing that you can be is a slave in a warehouse. The only thing that you can lift up, not your mind or lift yourself up, is lift up my box. You wonder why our educational system. Let me tell you something. During this pandemic, our children ain't learning shit now. Children ain't learning shit during this pandemic. They don't want your children learning shit. Who gonna work in the warehouses? You gonna take your 6 degrees and go to the warehouse? You don't do that. The educational system that the white man has in the school is not for you. You learn his story, not our story. I gave you our story last night. And I ain't driving to the church today, but I'm going to get it one day this week when I feel like going back over that and bring some more of that history from last night. In the 70s, the first year of busing, see, some of y'all think that I just started talking like this and doing this recently. I was like this in high school. I led the first walkout. Yeah, you knew it was serious. She says when she met a man that couldn't read but was the best forklift operator. Somebody said we need prayers. No, you don't. You need to get up off your knees. You've been praying too long. Now it's time to get up off your knees. Yeah. They need you in the warehouse. You need to be on your knees. Why are you on your knees? And I ain't attacking you, brother. But why are you on your knees? That's where the white man wants you on your knees. God has already given you the gifts. I taught that Sunday morning. I'm going to re-emphasize it on this Sunday morning and add some more to it. You on your knees, you begging God to do something that God has already gave you the formula and the plan to do. Why are you still begging God for what God has already gave you? He's giving you the gifts of prosperity. He's given you dominion over everything. He told you, I know my plans for you not to be a failure, for you to prosper, and you won't prosper. So what you on your knees for? God just look at you. Lord Jesus, I sure do need. I already done provided for you. What you want me to do? God ain't new to you. Even in Africa, you knew God. You didn't know God the way that the white man has given you God, but you knew God. You know God. He ain't brand new. But the white man's religion and these punkified pastors who are not bold enough to take you out of when we go to heaven. When we get there, everything's going to be all right. How come everything got to be all right in heaven and it can't? Come on. How come if Jesus said, I am come to give you life and give it to you more abundantly, how come it can't be all right here? How come I gotta die for it to be all right? How come I can't get no mention till I die? How come? How come? How come I can't get no wings until I'm dead? How come I get wings and fly away and be at rest? Because you have followed the white man's indoctrination, his programming into who God is. The white man don't know who God is. Do in his Ku Klux Klan rallies. He says he's a Christian. That's the reason he hung your ass, because he a Christian. But ye are supposed to be able to perform miracles in your life, your own life. I'm going to give you something. The 82nd chapter of Psalms, verse number 6. You'll go around certain preachers and you'll tell them, I'm a God. They'll take, don't you say it. Ain't but one God. Don't you be calling yourself no God. Well, the word says, Psalms 82 and 6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. I know my time is about up, but let me give you something. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. Notice that in that verse, the word gods is spelled with a small g. The Alpha and Omega God is capital G. He daddy God. You junior God. You say that you're a child of the King. Let me give you something Let me give you something. In the first chapter of Genesis, let us make man and let us make him look just like us in our image and in our likeness. Let us give him dominion over every creeping thing, everything on earth. I give you dominion over. What it's also telling you is that you got the DNA of God. I know it's 2 o'clock. I know it's time to go. I know it's time to go. You got miracle working power in yourself. You are God. You're a junior God. When you look in the mirror, you see a god or a goddess. You are God. A God has power. If you are in misery, if your life is in misery, you ain't using your supernatural powers. You got supernatural powers. You are the Superman of your life. Why don't you have some miracles going on in your life? I told you Sunday morning that all of this came into the existence with the mere utterance of the word. All God did was say, let that be. When are you going to call let that be into your life? Let me not suffer. Let there be wealth. Let there be abundance. Let there be health. Let there be joy. Let there be peace. Let there be. I need some money. Let that be. I need a new car. Let that be, because I'm going to apply the faith and I'm going to do the necessary things that it takes to have that. Let there be. Y'all excited about Biden tomorrow? I'm excited about God. Because God has already proven himself to me. I elect God. Y'all going with Biden. And the God that I serve don't need no vice president. The God that I serve don't need no cabinet. The God that I serve don't need no 25,000 soldiers to watch out. When all of the angels belong to him. The God that I serve can't get impeached. The God that I serve does not have to travel on Air Force One, because he is the one. You have not today because you asked not, that you have not applied yourself. God is still good. I ain't worried about that white man, because I learned that the white man ain't you. You ain't my God. You ain't my God. And when my people learn that the white man is not their God, when my people figure out we may not agree, we may not all like each other, but we can come into a common bond, then the white man will fear us. The white man now fears that you have come into too much providence, but he does not understand that if we as a people came together, there is nothing that a white man can do that can tear us apart, can destroy us, or exterminate us. You're free, men of you. You can't see your chains. You can't see them, but they're your mind, man. They still got your mind chained. They still got you, man. $310 of slavery. Black men being used as studs to produce more slaves for the white man. They fucked your mindset with that because in many areas, this all that the black man is doing now is just being a stud. Producing young boys that you don't give a damn about. You're not directing them. But the white man fears you. The white supremacist, he fears you. What's going on in Washington ain't about Biden. It's about Kamala. See, some white man has figured out that Biden's an old man. And if Biden dies or cannot finish out his term, then the black girl becomes president of the United States. You will understand that the young white man now is building off of his hatred, of other hatred, rather, that his forefathers had for us as a people. They were under the mindset that when they brought us over, the things would remain the same. They never saw this day. They never predicted this day. But I would say to the white folk that's watching me, and there are some, because you got to know what's going on. You got to know what I'm saying. If you are racist, if you are studying the destruction of black people, if your plan is to ride down on black people, let me say something to you. There will be bloodshed. Please understand, Mr. White Man, Mr. White Bigot, that we are not our ancestors. I've lived long enough to know what you did to our ancestors and how they allowed you to get away with it. But we are not our ancestors. There are a few of us that would rather be dead and sleeping in our graves than to fall under your rule. That's the reason I'm going to keep educating those that want to be educated. That will be retaliation for whatever it is that you do. Let this day, this last day of Trump, be your day that you understand that some of us understand that there's a call to battle. It becomes my mission to sit here on these social media pages Instagram, my Roku TV channel, YouTube, and whatever other means that I can find to get my message out. This is the ministry of Naked Truth, Liberation, and Empowerment Ministries. And I used to wonder why God gave me all of that to say in the title. Liberation. Because God wants his people to be liberated. Empowerment. Because he wants you to be empowered not only with the 66 books of the Bible, He wants you to be empowered on every subject to fight a war. You got to be knowledgeable. Every Sunday morning, I ain't doing no more of them when you get to heaven sermons. It's about freeing us as a people. Let's read Sunday. We talked about God and your finance, God and your success, and God and your motivation. I'm going to piggyback off of that Sunday's talk about don't put all your eggs in one basket. I'm going to talk about multiple streams of income. But you've got to have multiple streams of thought. We'll talk about changing your mindset. Because as long as your mindset stay in poverty, you're going to be impoverished. As long as you stay weak mentally, the enemy can destroy you because your mind is weak. And the word says that so a man thinketh, so is he. I'm going to teach and preach upliftment, self-esteem, to know your worth. And most of all, I want you to remember that you are of God. You are God. And in being a God, you got miracle working power. When are you going to work the miracle that is needed in your life? I'm 15 minutes over time. I am. So glad that this is my domain. But I encourage you to support what I'm doing. Naked Truth Liberation and Empowerment Ministries is no longer just a building. It may not be a building for much longer. But I want to minister this message that I'm giving you this morning around the world. My talk shows is part of my ministry. Some days it's raw and raunchy, but some days it's like today. I've got to do a lot of things to get this message out. I got to have better equipment. That was, I saw some on Facebook about a network, a black network, and for religious or church services. And I said, can the cousin pastor come? I ain't heard back from them black people yet. What I say is not popular with black people in church. Because you've been taught it's all about when you die. And they never told you the truth. It's about why you're living. I would ask right now that you would support Naked Truth Ministries. I'm looking for another app besides Cash App for those of you that don't have Cash App. It's $ Naked Truth Ministries. $ Naked Truth Ministries. Won't you give? Will you contribute to the growth of what I'm trying to do? And I keep asking Lord, Lord, just let me stay in health, good enough health to do what I do. I'll be 64 years old, April the 4th. And I don't feel the way I felt when I was 24. They diagnosed me with congestive heart failure and all of that, high blood pressure. But I take my medicines and I do what I got to do. I'm at a point now that I'm going to start doing some things for myself. You know, as I told you Sunday morning, it was the second weekend I got a suite um, at the casino. I preach Sunday, and that's the reason I'm going to become global because the permission that Jesus gave us to go, not to stay, not in the building. I hope that you enjoyed that message from the casino Saturday morning. But I'm just here to do God's will. And it may not be the way that you used to. It may be hard. It may be raw. And you will attack me. Many do. Because you think that you think for God. And God ain't going to use nobody like you. But I'm hopeful that somebody's been helped by something that I've said this morning. I invite you to give. Won't you give? Cash App, Naked Truth Ministries. If this message that I've given you this morning has done anything for you, and it doesn't matter what you give, whether it's $25, $50, $100, or whether it's $5, $10. I started teaching Sunday, and I'm going to teach more about that this Sunday. You make sure you join me Sunday morning. The power of giving. There's power in giving. I don't have near the money that I used to have. But I'm happier now than I've been in a long time. I'm not content, but I'm happy. I'm getting mad Easter Sunday. I'm happy. I want to do some things different. I'm going to take some time, take some trips for myself this year. I'm going to explore. And appreciate the abundance that God has given me. I lost a lot of money last year because of the pandemic. But I'm still alive, man. I'm still able to function in the place that God wants me to be. And I am fearful not to do His will. I think the brother just sent $1. Brother, that's all you got. That's one more dollar the ministry got that we didn't have. But white folk and my haters need to understand. I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to keep on preaching this gospel. And the definition for the word gospel is good news. And I think I'm giving you some good news now, myself. I don't know. And brother that sent the $1, I'm going to believe that that's all you had. Or maybe that's all you think that what you heard this morning is worth. And I appreciate you for that $1. I do. And if about 1,000 of y'all just want to do that same $1, I appreciate I appreciate it just the same. But I ask that you keep on supporting me. I don't know why this channel here always sounding like it's change falling somewhere. I don't see where it's going though. I'll be back at 7 p.m. this evening. I hope that you'll rejoin me. I'll probably be in a different vein this evening at 7. Again, if you'd like to give, it's Cash App Naked Truth Ministries. All right. Well, what time is it? Oh, yeah. I went way overboard. I ain't supposed to do this for an hour. So let me cut some of these mediums off. Maurice, thank you, man. You always give. And that's the reason you're always able to give because God just keeps on blessing you, man. Yeah, we'll talk about the kids this evening. We'll do that.